Hey everyone, welcome to Taking the Pulse, a healthcare and life sciences video podcast. Today, Lauren DeMoss and I are joining you from NC Bio's 2023 annual meeting, one of the Southeast premier life sciences events featuring both regional and national industry leaders. We are pleased to have with us one of North Carolina's most prominent life sciences experts, Doug Edgeton. He is president and CEO of the North Carolina Biotechnology Center. We are actually standing here inside your facility, and this is where the actual NC Bio event is taking place, but you're two separate entities.
Correct.
That's right. Doug, thanks for joining us, taking the time out. I know everybody's getting started, and you joining us we're grateful for.
Good.
For nearly 40 years, you've been working in this industry. NC Biotech Center goes back 40 years. Right? Deep history here, spearheading both the recruitment and the expansion of life sciences companies in North Carolina, specifically here in the Research Triangle where we are. You joined in 2012 after an impressive career in both corporate and academic in this space, right? Tell us a little bit about NC Bio's Technology Center, what you and your team do and why.
Okay, great. So what we call ourselves is a technology-based economic development organization, and what that means is we help everything from ideas coming out of the university all the way through growing the company to company recruitments and to expansion. So all the things that are in the workforce and in the space that you need to have to make this successful are where we focus. So we're in the economic development world, you're always looking for the gaps.
Yes.
We try to fill those gaps.
Yes.
Well, Doug, I know you have the state support in this. When the legislature planted the seed money in 1984 to create the Biotechnology Center, you were the first state-funded effort. What are some of the anchor life sciences companies you see now operating in North Carolina, and what sectors do you see emerging in the future?
Perfect. So there are 810 plus life science companies spread across North Carolina. About 80% of them are right here in what we call the Research Triangle area. The Biotechnology Center has been blessed to be funded continuously by the General Assembly every year since 1984. And that partnership with academia, with industry, and what we try to do is to coordinate, as I said, to fill gaps, looking for in the industry's needs. And so that has brought many of the large biomanufacturers to our state, such as, and I'll just have to read the list, Amgen, Biogen, Catalent, Fujifilm Diosynth, LabCorp, Lilly, Pfizer, Novo Nordisk, Thermo Fisher Scientific, Syngenta, and so many more. But a long list, long success, and I think that the thing that we are well known for as a state, as that indicates there, is biomanufacturing. We're usually ranked as one of the top states, if not the top state in biomanufacturing. We have a lot of strengths in other areas. We focus a lot of our energy on clinical research. The home of CROs is in North Carolina. The first CRO in the world was formed in North Carolina, LabCorp. And so when we look at that, we also have strength in diagnostics, gene and cell therapy, and ag tech. So with our two land-grant universities, we are very strong in ag tech. What we're seeing coming down the pipeline is there is the constant change in this industry. There's always some new discoveries and new technologies like AI and data sciences coming together to speed the process of discovery to commercialization. So we're excited. North Carolina is well positioned with three very great universities, and we have a lot of firsts in North Carolina. First public university, first research park, first biotechnology center. So all these things together have created this ecosystem that is very, very strong in the life sciences.
Yeah,
so.
I'm sure that gives you an advantage. The Maynard-Nexon now is 10 states, so we're seeing life sciences in a lot of states. How does North Carolina remain competitive when you have other states really trying to copy and emulate what you've done?
Certainly. So, the first question a lot of companies ask is workforce. Second question is workforce. Third question is workforce. Where are we going to get the people to fill our jobs? And fortunately, the Biotechnology Center long ago had an education unit that created this program called BioWork, which now is taught at 10 of the community colleges. That program trains people to be ready to go to work in biomanufacturing. So our universities also partner with us regularly to meet with companies to talk about what they're needing in workforce. We're blessed, and the reason why I think our state is so competitive, About 5,000 people a year graduate with a degree in master's or PhD in sciences, and about 4,500 a year graduate with engineering degrees. All the skills that companies are looking for. So we have a pipeline, and we work very hard to get students from high school into the community college, certificate programs. And I think that is one of the reasons why we've been so successful. And I think the other is we've been at it longer than anybody else. And we have, through the work of the universities, through the work of the industry, and through the work of government, we've been able to pull everything together to make this a strong, strong ecosystem. So,
remaining competitive. North Carolina is a leader, obviously, with the ecosystem that's been created. I'm assuming other states probably come to you to ask questions, to learn, to see, and not that they all have the ecosystem that you all have here, but what kind of support and collaboration do you have with other states in this area?
We work with other states all the time, and the North Carolina Biotechnology Center is a kind of a unique model. The only other state that has something like us is Maryland. Everybody else kind of has a separate function, sort of like the biosciences organization. And our company, or our group of people, has really been, I think, focused on where are we going to get the next big thing coming into the state, and how are we going to put the workforce to it. And so we work with other states frequently to say, what's the next big thing? What are you hearing? What are you seeing? There's a couple of national organizations, but surprisingly few that really focus on economic development. And so we're members of those organizations. And I think the other thing is, in life sciences in particular, a lot of times when people are looking to find a site, there's a handful of site selectors. Small world, we know a lot of those folks. And amazingly, a lot of times inside the company, somebody has had an experience in North Carolina. They're a graduate of one of our universities. They actually worked here before in the earlier time in their career, and now they're saying, hey, North Carolina is very organized. They know how to help. So we work with other states and trying to make us stand out.
Yes. Sure. You mentioned one, I guess, challenge, workforce. What are some other challenges and opportunities that you see in this life sciences industry right now?
There are always challenges, and we look at them as opportunities. One of the bigger ones we've been facing for a while is how to manage wastewater. These large fermenting tanks, when they clean them, it creates a load of water that has been cleaned, but you can't release it into our river basins. So geographically, we're a little bit challenged by the number of rivers we have to work with, and so we're not close to the coast where the majority of our big manufacturing is at. So that's been a challenge for us, and we're still looking for that solution. It has not revealed itself easily. It's always very expensive. Every time we come up with an answer, we're like, wow, that's too much. We got to find a way to solve this. But I think the other things are really just the pace of change, is a really hard thing for a lot of companies to pivot to. And so I see that as a big opportunity for our state, because a lot of that change is driven by the work going on in our great universities. So,
speaking of universities and that being such an integral part of the kind of ecosystem that's been created, can you talk to us a little bit about how you collaborate with the different universities, or if there's specific examples of ways you work with them and how it really enhances what you do here?
Certainly. So it starts with our board. So when our organization was set up, we have seats on our board for each of the universities that are one level, high-level research universities. And so our board members are typically, at least from each of the big universities, somebody who's either the provost or the head of research. So we work very closely with them to determine what programs and projects we need to help them with as they go forward. And then the other part is we get information, working with bio and others, we get information from industry, and sometimes we'll hold collaboratives with the university people to say, okay, what is it you're looking for, industry? What programs do we have in universities that can help support that? So that's been an ongoing, probably we'll have, like say, 35,000 people a year come through here for different events, and a lot of times that's part of it. We have a room upstairs called the Research Triangle Foundation Room. It's got a triangular table, and interestingly enough, you'll have all three universities and companies sitting around it, and you come up with solutions. So
It's nice to see that collaboration.
Yes.
Yeah. I think
Yes.
that makes North Carolina different from other states. I have heard this repeatedly from companies when we're recruiting, and that is that North Carolina is very organized and very collaborative. People work together. We don't force a site. We just say, we want you to come to North Carolina. We will show you the pluses and minuses of everything you're looking for. And then companies make a decision based on where they think they can get more profitability quicker. It's a business decision for them. So, right.
Well, I'm assuming the university collaboration too is not just it's faculty and students.
It is.
It's both sides of,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There is a number of opportunities for students to get involved with different projects while they're in the university side, and especially when you look at how a lot of research is done, you have a faculty leader, but you have a lot of graduate students working on that and advancing the technology. So
Helps keep them here too.
it does. That's what we want. We want people who graduate, from these where we've made big investments in our universities. We want the best to stay here. So,
Right.
Well, Doug, thank you for joining us today. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
Wish you and the Biotechnology Team Center, continued
Success.
success.
Yep.
We'll be here and have those wins on our podcast. But
Yep.
we're grateful for your
Been
time.
a good couple of years for sure. In the last 5 years, we've recruited about 12,000 jobs and about $8 billion of investment in the state. So we continue to see good things
$8
happen.
billion.
Yeah.
Right,
Wow.
right.
All right.
It's
well,
fantastic.
Those of you who joined us today on Taking the Pulse, I hope you learned a lot, not just a little, about North Carolina's life sciences industry. And Doug, again, on behalf of our entire team, thank you for joining us.
Thank you
Yes,
very
thank
much.
you, Doug.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.